Bungie here, and we were talking about Destiny. There was this very clear divide between the guys who thought shotguns were great and the guys who thought long-range weapons were great. Do you have any divides like that internally at the studio?
Any one-shot kill weapon, like a sniper rifle or a shotgun at close range, is very controversial, just period. It's hard to balance something that's a one-shot kill. Where's the skill gap? Where's the curve? Right, so this is when we try to mix the emotion of playing and making games with the data of making games, and you let the data, sort of gauge your emotional reaction to those things, and that's the only really logistical way to deal with that particular challenge. Is we have performance metrics. We expect players to perform at this level, and you can measure against that. So when you're using a shotgun or a sniper rifle, you can say, look, it's over or under indexing against what you'd expect, and that's how you deal with that. And believe me, every time we increase a shotgun's power or decrease a shotgun's power, people show up and knock on the door, and they're quite angry for a day.
They actually just yell.
That's actually very interesting to me, because what you're talking about is that basic fundamental skill level that you are developing for isn't static. It's kind of constantly moving, and you have to be responding to that all the time.
It does change over time. Now we try to set that base for the development, right? You have to set a baseline for the development, and you're only working with and playing with mostly other developers in QA, so you have a limited amount of data, right? There's good players and bad players, even within our own building. It's a very big studio. So
why'd you look at me when you said bad players?
But over time, when the game comes out, and you do, we're very fortunate that there's a lot of people who play, so over time, it absolutely does changes, and you do have to adapt to those changes over time. The truth is, something will climb out of or into a power band that we don't expect it, and we have to make the change, and it's controversial every time, but we will make that same decision every time because it's the right thing to do for the game.
How do you anticipate the public beta in Black Ops 3 affecting that whole process?
So what the public beta really does is it actually amplifies the amount of information we have to measure if the things are performing the way that we want. So it's actually fantastic. As a game designer and developer, it's the best thing that you want that. You want to put the game in the best possible position, and you don't want to guess. I don't want to guess if it's balanced. I want to know if it's balanced.
Yeah. Super interesting to me as like a math and statistics nerd to see what that must look like when you take this, this sample and compare it to this sample and hope that your basic metrics kind of line up in the same way.
Yeah, so fortunately for us, this is the third of the Black Ops game. So we've been building up the analytics over time, building up the dashboards over time. The good thing is I don't have to guess.